Have you ever found yourself sitting in your favorite chair, looking out the window, and wondering where all the time went? Maybe you've noticed that the house feels quieter than it used to, or that the days seem to stretch out a little longer than they once did. It's a funny thing, growing older. We spend so much of our lives surrounded by people, family, friends, co-workers, and then, one day, we realize that the noise has faded, and we're left with more time to ourselves than we ever imagined. If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. In fact, it's something so many of us experience as we grow older. But here's the thing, being alone doesn't have to mean being lonely. And it certainly doesn't mean your life has to lose its spark. In fact, this can be one of the most meaningful and fulfilling chapters of your life, if you know how to make the most of it. That's what we're going to talk about today. When you grow old and find yourself alone, there are certain things you can do, simple, practical, and deeply rewarding things, that can help you feel connected, purposeful, and truly alive. These aren't just tips to pass the time, they're ways to enrich your life, to rediscover joy, and to create a sense of meaning that can carry you through this stage with grace and even excitement. So, whether you're someone who's recently retired, lost a loved one, or simply feeling the weight of solitude, this video is for you. Let's dive in. The first thing I want to talk about is the power of routine. Now, I know what you might be thinking, routine? That sounds boring. But hear me out. When you're alone, it's easy for the days to blur together. You might wake up without a plan, and before you know it, the day is gone, and you're left wondering where it went. A routine doesn't have to be rigid or dull. It's simply a way of giving your day structure, so you have something to look forward to and a sense of accomplishment at the end of it. Think about it like this. When you were younger, your days were likely filled with tasks, going to work, taking care of the kids, running errands. Those tasks gave your day shape. Now, it's up to you to create that shape for yourself. Start small. Maybe you decide that every morning, you'll start your day with a cup of coffee and a few minutes of quiet reflection. Or perhaps you'll take a walk around the neighborhood after breakfast. It doesn't have to be anything grand. It just needs to be something that feels good to you. Over time, these small habits can become the foundation of your day, giving you a sense of purpose and direction. And here's the beautiful part. When you have a routine, you create opportunities to connect with the world around you. That morning walk? It might lead to a friendly chat with a neighbor. That quiet reflection? It might inspire you to pick up a new hobby or revisit an old one. Routine isn't about filling time. It's about creating space for the things that matter most to you. Now, let's talk about something that's just as important: staying connected. When you're alone, it's easy to let relationships slip. Maybe you've lost touch with old friends, or you feel like your family is too busy to spend time with you. But here's the truth. Connection is one of the most powerful tools we have for staying happy and healthy as we age. And the good news is, it's never too late to reach out. Think about someone you haven't spoken to in a while, a childhood friend, a former co-worker, or even a distant relative. Pick up the phone and give them a call. You might be surprised at how much joy it brings both of you to reconnect. But staying connected doesn't just mean reaching out to people from your past. It also means building new relationships. And yes, that can feel intimidating, especially if you're someone who's naturally shy or introverted. But remember, you're not alone in feeling that way. There are so many people out there who are looking for connection, just like you. Consider joining a local club or group that aligns with your interests. Maybe it's a book club, a gardening group, or a class at your community center. These are places where you can meet people who share your passions, and where friendships can grow naturally. And if getting out of the house feels like too much, there are plenty of ways to connect online. From social media groups to virtual classes, the internet can be a wonderful tool for staying engaged with others. Finally, let's talk about the importance of giving back. One of the most common feelings people experience when they're alone is a sense of purposelessness. You might find yourself asking, what's the point of all this? But here's the thing, your life has meaning, and one of the best ways to rediscover that meaning is by helping others. Volunteering is a powerful way to do that. Whether it's mentoring a young person, helping out at a local food bank, or simply offering a listening ear to someone in need, giving back can fill your life with a sense of purpose and fulfillment. And the beautiful part is, it doesn't just benefit the people you're helping, it benefits you, too. Studies have shown that volunteering can improve your mental and physical health, reduce feelings of loneliness, and even increase your lifespan. So, if you're feeling stuck or unsure of what to do with your time, Consider how you might use your skills and experiences to make a difference in someone else's life. Now that we've covered the importance of routine, staying connected, and giving back, let's move on to another key aspect of thriving when you're alone: taking care of your body and mind. Because the truth is, when you feel good physically and mentally, everything else becomes a little bit easier. So, let's talk about how you can nurture yourself in ways that will leave you feeling energized, focused, and ready to embrace each day. Taking care of your body and mind is one of the most important things you can do, especially as you grow older. It's like tending to a garden. When you nurture it, it flourishes. And the best part? You don't need to run a marathon or become a meditation guru to see the benefits. Small, consistent steps can make a world of difference. Let's start with your physical health. First, let's talk about movement. Now, I'm not saying you need to hit the gym or start training for a 5K, unless that's something you enjoy, of course. But staying active is crucial for maintaining your strength, flexibility, and overall well-being. Think about it. When your body feels good, you're more likely to want to get out and do things, whether that's meeting a friend for lunch, working on a hobby, or simply enjoying a walk in the park. The key is to find activities that you enjoy and that fit into your lifestyle. Maybe it's a gentle yoga class, a daily stroll around your neighborhood, or even dancing around your living room to your favorite music. The goal isn't to push yourself to the limit. It's to keep your body moving in ways that feel good to you. And let's not forget about the importance of stretching. As we age, our muscles and joints can become stiffer, which can make everyday activities more challenging. Taking just a few minutes each day to stretch can help improve your flexibility, reduce stiffness, and even prevent injuries. You don't need any special equipment, just a comfortable space and a willingness to move. Try starting your day with a simple stretching routine, or take a few moments to stretch before bed. You might be surprised at how much better you feel. Now, let's talk about nutrition. What you eat plays a huge role in how you feel, both physically and mentally. As we get older, our nutritional needs can change, so it's important to pay attention to what you're putting into your body. That doesn't mean you need to follow a strict diet or give up all your favorite foods. It's about making small, sustainable changes that support your health. For example, try incorporating more fruits, vegetables, and whole grains into your meals. These foods are packed with nutrients that can help boost your energy, support your immune system, and keep your mind sharp. And don't forget about hydration. Drinking enough water is essential for maintaining your energy levels, supporting digestion, and keeping your skin healthy. If you find it hard to remember to drink water, try keeping a water bottle with you throughout the day or setting a reminder on your phone. Of course, taking care of your body isn't just about what you do, it's also about what you don't do. And that brings us to the importance of rest. Sleep is one of the most powerful tools we have for maintaining our health, yet it's often overlooked. As we age, our sleep patterns can change, and it might become harder to get a good night's rest. But that doesn't mean you have to accept poor sleep as a given. There are things you can do to improve your sleep quality, like establishing a relaxing bedtime routine, keeping your bedroom cool and dark, and avoiding screens for at least an hour before bed. If you're still having trouble sleeping, it might be worth talking to your doctor to rule out any underlying issues. Now, let's shift our focus to your mental health. Just as important as taking care of your body is taking care of your mind. And one of the best ways to do that is by staying curious and engaged. Learning new things isn't just for young people. It's a lifelong journey that can bring joy, fulfillment, and a sense of accomplishment. Think about something you've always wanted to try but never had the time for. Maybe it's learning to play an instrument, picking up a new language, or exploring a new hobby like painting or gardening. The internet is a treasure trove of resources, from online courses to YouTube tutorials, making it easier than ever to learn something new. And the best part? You can go at your own pace, without any pressure or expectations. Another powerful way to nurture your mind is through mindfulness. Now, I know that word gets thrown around a lot these days, but there's a reason for that. Mindfulness is simply the practice of being present in the moment, without judgment. It's about tuning into your thoughts, feelings, and surroundings, and letting go of the constant chatter in your mind. And the benefits are incredible: reduced stress, improved focus, and a greater sense of peace and well-being. You don't need to spend hours meditating to reap the benefits, either. Even just a few minutes a day can make a difference. Try starting with a simple breathing exercise. Sit quietly, close your eyes, and take a few deep breaths. Focus on the sensation of the air entering and leaving your body. If your mind starts to wander, that's okay. Just gently bring your attention back to your breath. Over time, you might find that this practice helps you feel more grounded and centered, no matter what's going on around you. And let's not forget about the power of gratitude. It's easy to focus on what's missing or what's not going right, especially when you're feeling alone. But taking a moment each day to reflect on what you're grateful for can shift your perspective in a profound way. It doesn't have to be anything big. Maybe it's the warmth of the sun on your face, a kind word from a neighbor, or a delicious meal you enjoyed. By focusing on the good in your life, you can cultivate a sense of contentment and joy, even in the midst of challenges. Now, as we wrap up this part of the conversation, I want to leave you with this thought. Taking care of your body and mind isn't just about adding years to your life, it's about adding life to your years. When you feel good physically and mentally, you're better equipped to embrace each day with curiosity, joy, and a sense of purpose. And that's what this journey is all about, finding ways to live fully and authentically, no matter where life takes you. So, as we move forward, let's explore how you can continue to create a life that feels rich and meaningful, even when you're alone. Because the truth is, being alone doesn't have to mean being lonely. In fact, it can be an opportunity to discover new passions, deepen your relationships, and create a life that's uniquely yours. Let's keep going. Now that we've talked about the importance of taking care of your body and mind, let's dive into another essential aspect of thriving when you're alone, finding joy in the little things. Life has a way of becoming routine, especially when you're on your own, but that doesn't mean it has to lose its spark. In fact, some of the most meaningful moments come from the small, everyday experiences that we often overlook. So, let's explore how you can cultivate a sense of joy and wonder in your daily life. One of the simplest ways to do this is by creating a space that feels like a sanctuary. Think about your home. It's more than just a place to eat and sleep. It's your personal haven, a reflection of who you are and what you love. Take some time to make your space feel cozy and inviting. Maybe it's adding a few plants to brighten up the room, hanging up photos of loved ones, or rearranging your furniture to create a more open and welcoming atmosphere. You don't need to spend a lot of money or do a complete overhaul. Just a few small changes can make a big difference. When your environment feels good, it's easier to feel good, too. And let's not forget about the power of scent. Have you ever walked into a room and immediately felt uplifted by the smell of fresh flowers or a favorite candle? Scents have a unique ability to evoke memories and emotions, so why not use them to create a sense of comfort and joy in your home? Experiment with different aromas, whether it's the crisp scent of citrus, the warmth of vanilla, or the freshness of lavender, and see what resonates with you. Lighting a candle, using essential oils, or even baking something delicious can fill your home with a sense of warmth and happiness. Another way to find joy in the little things is by embracing the beauty of nature. There's something incredibly grounding about spending time outdoors, whether it's sitting in your backyard, taking a walk in the park, or simply watching the birds from your window. Nature has a way of reminding us of the bigger picture, of the cycles of life and the beauty that exists all around us. If you're able, try to spend a little time outside each day. Feel the sun on your skin, listen to the rustle of the leaves, or take a moment to appreciate the colors of the sky. Even if you can't get outside, bringing a bit of nature indoors can have a similar effect. A vase of fresh flowers, a potted plant, or even a nature-inspired piece of art can help you feel more connected to the world around you. Now, let's talk about the joy of creativity. Whether you consider yourself an artist or not, there's something incredibly fulfilling about creating something with your own hands. It doesn't have to be perfect. In fact, it's often the imperfections that make it uniquely yours. Think about activities that allow you to express yourself, whether it's painting, knitting, writing, or even cooking. The process of creating can be incredibly therapeutic, helping you to relax, focus, and tap into a sense of flow. And the best part? You don't need any special skills or equipment to get started. Just pick something that interests you and give it a try. You might be surprised at how much joy it brings you. And speaking of joy, let's not forget about the power of laughter. They say laughter is the best medicine, and it's true. Laughter has a way of lifting our spirits, reducing stress, and bringing us closer to others. Even when you're alone, you can find ways to bring more laughter into your life. Maybe it's watching a funny movie, reading a humorous book, or even recalling a funny memory. Laughter is contagious, so don't be afraid to share a joke or a funny story with someone else. You might just brighten their day, too. Another way to find joy is by practicing mindfulness in your daily activities. So often, we go through life on autopilot, barely noticing the world around us. But when we slow down and truly pay attention, even the most mundane tasks can become sources of joy. Take washing the dishes, for example. Instead of rushing through it, try to focus on the sensation of the warm water, the smell of the soap, the sound of the dishes clinking together. It might sound silly, but this simple act of mindfulness can transform an ordinary chore into a moment of peace and presence. The same goes for other activities, like folding laundry, gardening, or even brushing your teeth. When you approach these tasks with a sense of curiosity and presence, you might find that they become opportunities for joy rather than burdens. And let's not forget about the joy of giving. Earlier, we talked about the importance of giving back, but giving doesn't always have to be about volunteering or grand gestures. Sometimes, it's the small acts of kindness that bring the most joy, both to the giver and the receiver. Maybe it's baking cookies for a neighbor, sending a thoughtful card to a friend, or simply offering a smile to a stranger. These small acts of generosity can create a ripple effect, spreading joy and positivity in ways you might not even realize. And the beautiful part is, they don't just benefit the people you're helping, they benefit you, too. Giving has a way of filling your heart with warmth and reminding you of the goodness in the world. Now, as we move forward, let's talk about another key aspect of thriving when you're alone: embracing change. Life is full of transitions, and as we grow older, those transitions can feel more pronounced. But change doesn't have to be something to fear. It can be an opportunity for growth, discovery, and renewal. So, let's explore how you can navigate life's changes with grace and resilience, and even find joy in the process. Because here's the thing, when you're open to change, you open yourself up to new possibilities. You might discover a passion you never knew you had, form a connection with someone you never expected, or find a sense of purpose in a way you never imagined. Change can be challenging, yes, but it can also be incredibly rewarding. And the more you embrace it, the more you'll realize that life is full of surprises, and that's what makes it so beautiful. So, as we continue this conversation, let's explore how you can approach change with an open heart and a curious mind, and how you can use it as a catalyst for creating a life that's rich, meaningful, and full of joy. Because no matter where you are in your journey, there's always room for growth, for discovery, and for joy. Let's keep going. Change, it's one of the few constants in life, isn't it? And yet, even though we know it's inevitable, it can still feel unsettling, especially as we grow older. Maybe you've experienced a big life shift recently: retirement, the loss of a loved one, or even just the realization that your body doesn't move the way it used to. These changes can leave you feeling uncertain, even a little lost. But here's the thing, change doesn't have to be something you resist. In fact, it can be an incredible opportunity to grow, to rediscover yourself, and to create a life that feels even more aligned with who you are now. So, let's talk about how you can embrace change with grace and even a sense of excitement. First, let's acknowledge that it's okay to feel uneasy about change. It's natural to want to hold on to what's familiar, especially when life feels unpredictable. But here's a question to consider. What if, instead of seeing change as something to fear, you saw it as an invitation? An invitation to try something new, to let go of what no longer serves you, and to step into a version of yourself that's more authentic and free. It's not always easy, but it's worth it. And the first step is simply to shift your perspective. Think about a time in your life when you faced a big change. Maybe it was moving to a new city, starting a new job, or becoming a parent. At the time, it might have felt overwhelming, but looking back, you can probably see how that change shaped you in ways you never expected. The same is true now. The changes you're experiencing, whether they're physical, emotional, or circumstantial, are opportunities for growth. They're chances to learn more about yourself, to discover new strengths, and to create a life that feels meaningful and fulfilling. One way to embrace change is by focusing on what you can control. When life feels uncertain, it's easy to get caught up in all the things you can't change. But there's so much you can control. Your mindset, your daily habits, the way you choose to spend your time. Start by identifying the areas of your life where you have agency. Maybe it's your routine, your environment, or the way you care for yourself. By focusing on these things, you can create a sense of stability and empowerment, even in the midst of change. Another powerful way to navigate change is by staying curious. Curiosity is like a superpower. It helps you approach life with an open mind and a sense of wonder. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" try asking, "What can I learn from this?" Or "How can I grow through this experience?" When you approach change with curiosity, it becomes less about what you're losing and more about what you're gaining. It's about seeing the possibilities rather than the limitations. And let's not forget about the importance of self-compassion. Change can be hard, and it's okay to acknowledge that. Be kind to yourself as you navigate this new chapter. If you're feeling overwhelmed, give yourself permission to take things one step at a time. Celebrate the small victories, and don't be too hard on yourself if things don't go exactly as planned. Remember, you're doing the best you can, and that's more than enough. Now, let's talk about how you can use change as an opportunity to redefine your sense of purpose. When life shifts, it's natural to question your role and your place in the world. But here's the beautiful part. Purpose isn't something you find, it's something you create. And it can evolve over time, just like you do. Think about what matters most to you right now. What brings you joy? What makes you feel alive? These are clues to your purpose. Maybe it's spending time with family, pursuing a passion, or making a difference in your community. Whatever it is, lean into it. Let it guide your decisions and your actions. When you live with purpose, change becomes less about what you're leaving behind and more about what you're moving toward. Another way to embrace change is by staying connected to your values. Your values are like a compass. They help you navigate life's twists and turns with clarity and confidence. Take some time to reflect on what's most important to you. Is it kindness, creativity, independence, family? Once you've identified your core values, use them as a guide as you navigate change. When you make decisions that align with your values, you'll feel more grounded and confident, no matter what life throws your way. And let's not forget about the power of community. Change can feel isolating, but you don't have to go through it alone. Reach out to others who are going through similar experiences. Share your thoughts, your fears, and your hopes. You might be surprised at how much comfort and connection you find in simply knowing that you're not alone. And don't be afraid to ask for help when you need it. Whether it's a friend, a family member, or a professional, there are people who care about you and want to support you. Finally, let's talk about the importance of celebrating the journey. Change isn't just about the destination, it's about the process. It's about the small steps you take each day, the lessons you learn along the way, and the person you become as a result. So, take time to celebrate your progress, no matter how small. Maybe it's trying something new, letting go of something that no longer serves you, or simply showing up for yourself in a way you never have before. These are all victories worth celebrating. As we wrap up this part of the conversation, I want to leave you with this thought: change is not the enemy. It's a natural part of life, and it can be a powerful catalyst for growth and transformation. When you embrace change with an open heart and a curious mind, you open yourself up to new possibilities, new connections, and a deeper sense of purpose. And that's what this journey is all about: creating a life that feels rich, meaningful, and full of joy, no matter where life takes you. So, as we move forward, let's explore how you can continue to build a life that feels authentic and fulfilling, even in the face of change. Because the truth is, you have so much wisdom, strength, and resilience within you. And no matter what changes come your way, you have the power to navigate them with grace, courage, and even a sense of excitement. Let's keep going. Now that we've talked about embracing change, let's dive into another essential aspect of thriving when you're alone: cultivating a sense of gratitude and positivity. Life has its ups and downs, and when you're navigating it on your own, it's easy to focus on the challenges or the things that feel missing. But here's the thing: there's so much to be grateful for, even in the midst of difficulty. And when you shift your focus to the good in your life, it can transform the way you experience the world. So, let's explore how you can cultivate gratitude and positivity, and how these practices can enrich your life in profound ways. Let's start with gratitude. Gratitude is more than just saying thank you. It's a mindset, a way of seeing the world. It's about noticing the good, even in the small, everyday moments. And the beautiful part? Gratitude has a ripple effect. When you practice gratitude, it doesn't just make you feel better, it can improve your relationships, your health, and even your overall sense of well-being. So, how can you cultivate gratitude in your daily life? One simple way is by keeping a gratitude journal. Each day, take a few minutes to write down 3 things you're grateful for. They don't have to be big or life-changing. They can be as simple as a warm cup of tea, a kind word from a friend, or the sound of birds singing outside your window. The act of writing them down helps you pause and reflect, and over time, you'll start to notice more and more things to be grateful for. It's like training your brain to focus on the positive, and the effects can be truly transformative. Another way to practice gratitude is by expressing it to others. When someone does something kind for you, take a moment to let them know how much it means to you. It could be a heartfelt thank you, a handwritten note, or even a small gesture of appreciation. Not only does this strengthen your relationships, but it also reinforces your own sense of gratitude. And don't forget to extend that gratitude to yourself, too. Take a moment each day to acknowledge your own strengths, your resilience, and the efforts you're making to create a fulfilling life. You deserve that recognition, and it can go a long way in boosting your confidence and self-worth. Now, let's talk about positivity. Positivity isn't about pretending that everything is perfect or ignoring the challenges in your life. It's about choosing to focus on what's good, even when things are hard. It's about finding hope and joy in the midst of difficulty. And the good news is, positivity is a skill you can develop. It's like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. One way to cultivate positivity is by reframing your thoughts. When you catch yourself thinking negatively, try to shift your perspective. For example, instead of saying, "I'm all alone," you might say, "I have the opportunity to create a life that's uniquely mine." Instead of focusing on what you can't do, focus on what you can do. This doesn't mean ignoring your feelings or pretending everything is fine. It's about choosing to see the possibilities rather than the limitations. Another powerful way to foster positivity is by surrounding yourself with uplifting influences. This could be through the books you read, the music you listen to, or the people you spend time with. Seek out stories of resilience, hope, and joy. Listen to music that lifts your spirits. Spend time with people who make you feel good about yourself and who encourage you to see the bright side of life. And if you're feeling stuck, consider seeking out positive role models. People who face challenges and come out stronger on the other side. Their stories can inspire you and remind you that you're capable of overcoming anything. And let's not forget about the power of laughter and play. Positivity isn't just about having a sunny outlook, it's also about finding joy in the moment. Make time for activities that make you laugh, whether it's watching a funny movie, playing a game, or reminiscing about a hilarious memory. Laughter is a powerful antidote to stress and worry, and it can help you feel more connected to the joy of life. Another way to cultivate positivity is by practicing mindfulness. Mindfulness is about being fully present in the moment, without judgment. It's about noticing what's happening right now, rather than getting caught up in worries about the future or regrets about the past. When you practice mindfulness, you create space for positivity to flourish. Try starting with a simple mindfulness exercise. Take a few deep breaths, and focus on the sensation of the air entering and leaving your body. If your mind starts to wander, gently bring it back to your breath. Over time, this practice can help you feel more grounded, calm, and open to the good in your life. Now, let's talk about the importance of self-care in cultivating gratitude and positivity. When you take care of yourself, physically, emotionally, and mentally, you create a foundation for a positive outlook. Self-care isn't selfish, it's essential. It's about honoring your needs and giving yourself the love and attention you deserve. So, make time for activities that nourish your soul, whether it's taking a relaxing bath, spending time in nature, or indulging in a hobby you love. When you prioritize self-care, you're better equipped to handle life's challenges and to see the good in every day. And finally, let's talk about the power of giving. When you give to others, whether it's your time, your energy, or your kindness, you create a sense of connection and purpose that can fill your heart with positivity. Look for opportunities to give in your daily life. Maybe it's volunteering, helping a neighbor, or simply offering a smile to someone who needs it. These small acts of kindness can create a ripple effect, spreading positivity not just to others, but to yourself as well. As we wrap up this part of the conversation, I want to leave you with this thought: gratitude and positivity are like seeds. When you plant them in your life, they grow and flourish, filling your days with light and joy. And the more you nurture them, the more they become a natural part of who you are. So, take a moment each day to notice the good, to focus on the positive, and to give thanks for the blessings in your life. Because when you do, you'll find that life becomes richer, more meaningful, and more beautiful than you ever imagined. So, as we move forward, let's explore how you can continue to build a life that's filled with gratitude, positivity, and joy. Because no matter where you are in your journey, there's always something to be grateful for, always a reason to smile, and always a way to create a life that feels full and vibrant. Let's keep going. Now that we've talked about cultivating gratitude and positivity, let's dive into another essential aspect of thriving when you're alone: building a sense of purpose and meaning. Purpose is like the compass that guides us through life. It gives us direction, motivation, and a reason to get up in the morning. And the beautiful part? Purpose isn't something you're born with. It's something you create. It can evolve and change over time, just like you do. So, let's explore how you can discover or rediscover your sense of purpose and how it can transform your life in profound ways. Let's start by acknowledging that finding purpose isn't always easy, especially when you're navigating life on your own. Maybe you've retired from a career that once gave you a sense of identity, or you've experienced a loss that's left you feeling adrift. It's natural to feel unsure about your place in the world during times like these. But here's the truth: purpose isn't tied to a job, a role, or even a relationship. It's something that comes from within. It's about understanding what matters most to you and aligning your life with those values. So, how can you begin to uncover your purpose? One way is by reflecting on your passions and interests. Think about the things that light you up, that make you lose track of time, that bring you joy. Maybe it's a hobby you've always loved, a cause you're passionate about, or a skill you've always wanted to develop. These are clues to your purpose. They point to the things that resonate with your heart and soul. Take some time to explore these interests, whether it's through a class, a club, or simply dedicating more time to them at home. When you engage in activities that align with your passions, you'll naturally feel a greater sense of fulfillment and purpose. Another way to discover your purpose is by considering how you can make a difference in the lives of others. Purpose often comes from feeling connected to something larger than yourself, whether it's your family, your community, or the world at large. Think about the skills, experiences, and wisdom you've accumulated over the years. How can you use them to help others? Maybe it's mentoring a young person, volunteering for a cause you care about, or simply being a listening ear for someone in need. When you give of yourself, you not only enrich the lives of others, but you also deepen your own sense of meaning and connection. And let's not forget about the importance of setting goals. Goals give you something to strive for, something to look forward to. They don't have to be big or life-changing. They can be as simple as learning a new recipe, planting a garden, or organizing your home. The key is to choose goals that feel meaningful to you, that align with your values and interests. When you have something to work toward, it gives your day structure and direction, and it helps you feel a sense of accomplishment as you make progress. Now, let's talk about the role of relationships in finding purpose. Even when you're alone, you're not truly isolated. You're part of a web of connections: family, friends, neighbors, and even strangers you encounter in your daily life. These relationships can be a powerful source of purpose. Think about the people who matter most to you. How can you nurture those relationships? Maybe it's spending more time with your grandchildren, reconnecting with an old friend, or simply being a supportive presence in someone's life. When you invest in your relationships, you create a sense of belonging and purpose that can fill your heart with joy. Another way to build purpose is by embracing lifelong learning. Learning isn't just for young people. It's a lifelong journey that can bring a sense of curiosity, growth, and fulfillment. Think about something you've always wanted to learn, whether it's a new language, a musical instrument, or a skill like painting or woodworking. The process of learning can be incredibly rewarding, and it can open up new possibilities for connection and creativity. Plus, it keeps your mind sharp and engaged, which is so important as we age. And let's not forget about the power of storytelling. Your life is a story, and it's one that's still being written. Take some time to reflect on your journey, the challenges you've overcome, the lessons you've learned, the moments that have shaped you. Consider sharing your story with others, whether it's through writing, speaking, or simply having conversations with loved ones. Your story is unique and valuable, and it has the power to inspire and uplift others. When you share it, you create a sense of purpose that extends beyond yourself. Now, let's talk about the importance of embracing the present moment. Purpose isn't just about the future. It's also about finding meaning in the here and now. It's about being fully present in your daily life, savoring the small moments, and finding joy in the ordinary. Try practicing mindfulness in your everyday activities. Whether it's sipping a cup of tea, taking a walk, or simply sitting quietly, take the time to fully experience the moment. When you're present, you're more likely to notice the beauty and meaning in your life, even in the simplest things. And finally, let's talk about the importance of self-compassion. Finding purpose isn't always a straightforward journey. There may be times when you feel uncertain, when you question your choices, or when you feel like you're not doing enough. In those moments, it's important to be kind to yourself. Remember, you're doing the best you can, and that's enough. Celebrate your progress, no matter how small, and trust that you're exactly where you need to be. Purpose isn't a destination, it's a journey, and it's one that's uniquely yours. As we wrap up this part of the conversation, I want to leave you with this thought: purpose is like a flame. It can flicker and waver at times, but it never truly goes out. And when you nurture it, through your passions, your relationships, your goals, and your presence, it can grow into a steady, guiding light that illuminates your path. So, take some time to reflect on what matters most to you, to explore your interests, and to connect with the people and activities that bring you joy. Because when you live with purpose, you create a life that's rich, meaningful, and full of possibility. So, as we move forward, let's explore how you can continue to build a life that's aligned with your purpose, that feels vibrant and fulfilling, and that allows you to embrace each day with curiosity, joy, and a sense of meaning. Because no matter where you are in your journey, there's always room to grow, to discover, and to create a life that's uniquely yours. Let's keep going. Now that we've talked about building a sense of purpose and meaning, let's dive into another essential aspect of thriving when you're alone: nurturing your inner world. Life isn't just about what happens on the outside, it's also about what's happening on the inside. Your thoughts, emotions, and inner dialogue play a huge role in how you experience the world. And when you take the time to nurture your inner world, you create a foundation of peace, resilience, and joy that can carry you through life's ups and downs. By cultivating self-awareness, self-compassion, and a sense of inner peace, you equip yourself with the tools needed to navigate life's challenges and appreciate its beauty. So, let's explore how you can develop a rich and fulfilling inner life, and how doing so can transform the way you experience the world around you. Let's start by talking about the power of self-reflection. Self-reflection is like holding up a mirror to your soul. It allows you to see yourself clearly, to understand your thoughts and feelings, and to make sense of your experiences. It's a way of checking in with yourself, of asking, how am I really doing? And the beautiful part? Self-reflection doesn't require any special tools or skills. It's simply about taking the time to pause and listen to your inner voice. When you engage in regular self-reflection, you develop a deeper understanding of yourself, your desires, and your values. This self-awareness helps you make choices that align with your true self and fosters a greater sense of fulfillment and purpose in your life. One way to practice self-reflection is through journaling. Writing down your thoughts and feelings can be incredibly therapeutic. It allows you to process your emotions, to gain clarity, and to release anything that's weighing on your mind. Try setting aside a few minutes each day to write in a journal. You don't need to worry about grammar or structure, just let your thoughts flow onto the page. You might be surprised at what comes up, and at how much lighter you feel afterward. Journaling also allows you to track your personal growth over time. When you look back on past entries, you may notice patterns, recognize progress, and see how much you've evolved emotionally and mentally. Another way to practice self-reflection is through meditation. Meditation is a powerful tool for quieting the mind and tuning into your inner world. It doesn't have to be complicated. You can start with just a few minutes of sitting quietly and focusing on your breath. If your mind starts to wander, that's okay. Gently bring your attention back to your breath. Over time, this practice can help you feel more centered, calm, and connected to yourself. Meditation also enhances your ability to observe your thoughts without becoming overwhelmed by them. By cultivating a sense of detachment from your emotions, you develop the ability to navigate challenges with greater clarity and composure. Now, let's talk about the importance of self-compassion. Self-compassion is about treating yourself with the same kindness and understanding that you would offer to a dear friend. It's about recognizing that you're human, that you're doing the best you can, and that it's okay to make mistakes. When you practice self-compassion, you create a safe and nurturing space within yourself, a space where you can heal, grow, and thrive. Many of us are our own harshest critics, often speaking to ourselves in ways we would never speak to someone we love. Cultivating self-compassion helps counteract this tendency and fosters a more supportive and gentle inner dialogue. One way to cultivate self-compassion is by changing the way you talk to yourself. Pay attention to your inner dialogue. Are you kind and supportive? Or are you critical and harsh? If you notice that you're being hard on yourself, try to shift your tone. Speak to yourself as you would to a loved one. Offer yourself words of encouragement, of comfort, of love. Over time, this practice can help you develop a more compassionate and nurturing relationship with yourself. You deserve your own kindness and understanding, just as much as anyone else does. Another way to practice self-compassion is by acknowledging your feelings. It's easy to push away difficult emotions, to tell yourself to just get over it. But the truth is, your feelings are valid, and they deserve to be acknowledged. When you're feeling sad, angry, or anxious, take a moment to sit with those emotions. Allow yourself to feel them, without judgment. You might say to yourself, "It's okay to feel this way. This is hard, and I'm doing the best I can." When you acknowledge your feelings, you create space for healing and growth. Accepting your emotions, rather than suppressing them, allows you to process and move through them in a healthy way. And let's not forget about the power of forgiveness. Forgiveness is about letting go of resentment, of anger, of the need to hold on to past hurts. It's not about condoning what happened or forgetting about it. It's about freeing yourself from the weight of those emotions. When you forgive, you create space for peace and joy in your life. So, take some time to reflect on any grudges or resentments you're holding on to. Consider what it would feel like to let them go. It might not happen overnight, but even the act of considering forgiveness can be a powerful step toward healing. Holding on to resentment can weigh you down emotionally and mentally, but choosing to forgive allows you to move forward with greater lightness and peace. Now, let's talk about the importance of cultivating a positive inner dialogue. The way you talk to yourself has a profound impact on your self-esteem, your confidence, and your overall well-being. When your inner dialogue is positive and supportive, you feel more capable, more resilient, and more at peace. But when it's negative and critical, it can leave you feeling drained and discouraged. One of the most effective ways to shift your inner dialogue is by practicing affirmations. Affirmations are positive statements that help reframe your mindset and reinforce self-belief. Try repeating affirmations such as, "I am worthy of love and happiness," "I am strong and capable," or "I choose to see the good in myself and others." And let's not forget about the importance of gratitude in nurturing your inner world. Gratitude is like a balm for the soul. It soothes, uplifts, and heals. When you practice gratitude, you shift your focus from what's lacking to what's abundant in your life. So, take some time each day to reflect on what you're grateful for. It could be something big, like your health or your family, or something small, like a beautiful sunset or a kind word from a stranger. Focusing on gratitude fosters a sense of contentment and appreciation for life's blessings, both big and small. Finally, let's talk about the importance of stillness. In our fast-paced world, it's easy to get caught up in the hustle and bustle of daily life. But stillness is essential for nurturing your inner world. It's in the quiet moments that you can hear your inner voice, that you can connect with your true self, and that you can find peace and clarity. Making time for stillness allows you to cultivate inner peace and a sense of groundedness in an often chaotic world. Now that we've talked about nurturing your inner world, let's dive into another essential aspect of thriving when you're alone: embracing independence and self-reliance. Independence is one of the greatest gifts we can give ourselves, especially as we grow older. It's about knowing that you have the strength, the skills, and the resilience to navigate life on your own terms. And while it can feel daunting at times, embracing independence can also be incredibly empowering. So, let's explore how you can cultivate a sense of independence and self-reliance, and how it can transform the way you experience life. Let's start by acknowledging that independence doesn't mean you have to do everything on your own. It's not about isolating yourself or refusing help when you need it. True independence is about knowing that you have the ability to take care of yourself, while also recognizing that it's okay to lean on others when necessary. It's about finding that balance between self-reliance and connection, and understanding that both are essential for a fulfilling life. One way to cultivate independence is by building your confidence. Confidence comes from knowing that you can handle whatever life throws your way. And the best way to build confidence is by taking action. Start with small steps, things that feel manageable and within your control. Maybe it's learning a new skill, tackling a project you've been putting off, or simply making a decision without seeking approval from others. Each time you take action, you prove to yourself that you're capable, and that proof builds confidence over time. Another way to build confidence is by celebrating your successes. It's easy to focus on what you haven't done or what you wish you could do better. But when you take the time to acknowledge your achievements, no matter how small, you reinforce your belief in your abilities. So, keep a mental, or written, list of your successes. Maybe it's something as simple as cooking a new recipe, fixing something around the house, or navigating a challenging situation. When you recognize your accomplishments, you remind yourself of your strength and resilience. Now, let's talk about the importance of self-sufficiency. Self-sufficiency is about having the skills and resources to take care of yourself. It's about knowing that you can meet your own needs, whether that's cooking a meal, managing your finances, or handling a household repair. When you're self-sufficient, you feel a sense of empowerment and control over your life. One way to build self-sufficiency is by learning new skills. Think about areas where you might feel dependent on others, and consider how you can become more self-reliant in those areas. Maybe it's learning how to use technology to stay connected, taking a class on basic home maintenance, or exploring new ways to manage your health and well-being. The more skills you have, the more confident and independent you'll feel. Another way to build self-sufficiency is by staying organized. When you have systems in place for managing your life, you feel more in control and less overwhelmed. This could mean creating a budget to manage your finances, setting up a routine for household chores, or using a calendar to keep track of appointments and commitments. When you're organized, you free up mental space to focus on the things that truly matter to you. And let's not forget about the importance of financial independence. Financial independence is about having the resources to support yourself and make choices that align with your values and goals. It's about feeling secure in your financial situation, so you can live with peace of mind. If you're not already financially independent, consider taking steps to improve your financial literacy and security. This might mean creating a budget, saving for the future, or seeking advice from a financial planner. When you feel confident about your financial situation, you'll feel more empowered to make decisions that support your independence. Now, let's talk about the importance of emotional independence. Emotional independence is about knowing that your happiness and well-being come from within. It's about not relying on others to validate your worth or make you feel complete. When you're emotionally independent, you're able to navigate life's ups and downs with resilience and grace. One way to cultivate emotional independence is by developing a strong sense of self. This means understanding who you are, what you value, and what brings you joy. Take some time to reflect on your identity, your strengths, your passions, your beliefs. When you have a clear sense of self, you're less likely to be swayed by others' opinions or expectations, and more likely to make choices that align with your true self. Another way to cultivate emotional independence is by practicing self-care. Self-care is about prioritizing your own needs and well-being. It's about recognizing that you deserve love, care, and attention, and that it's okay to put yourself first. Make time for activities that nourish your body, mind, and soul, whether it's taking a relaxing bath, spending time in nature, or indulging in a hobby you love. When you take care of yourself, you build a foundation of emotional resilience that allows you to navigate life with confidence and grace. And let's not forget about the importance of setting boundaries. Boundaries are about knowing your limits and communicating them to others. They're about protecting your time, your energy, and your well-being. When you set boundaries, you create a sense of respect and balance in your relationships. So, take some time to reflect on your boundaries. What's okay with you, and what's not? How can you communicate those boundaries in a clear and respectful way? When you set and maintain boundaries, you create a sense of empowerment and control over your life. As we wrap up this part of the conversation, I want to leave you with this thought: independence is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it becomes. And when you cultivate independence, through confidence, self-sufficiency, emotional resilience, and curiosity, you create a life that's rich, meaningful, and full of possibility. So, take some time to reflect on your journey toward independence, to celebrate your progress, and to embrace the opportunities that lie ahead. Because when you live with independence, you create a life that's uniquely yours, one that's filled with strength, resilience, and joy. So, as we move forward, let's explore how you can continue to build a life that's aligned with your independence, that feels vibrant and fulfilling, and that allows you to embrace each day with curiosity, joy, and a sense of empowerment. Because no matter where you are in your journey, there's always room to grow, to discover, and to create a life that's uniquely yours. Let's keep going. Now that we've talked about embracing independence and self-reliance, let's dive into another essential aspect of thriving when you're alone: fostering a sense of community and connection. While independence is incredibly important, so too is the sense of belonging that comes from being part of a community. Humans are social beings, and even when we're alone, we thrive when we feel connected to others. So, let's explore how you can build and nurture meaningful connections, and how they can enrich your life in profound ways. Let's start by acknowledging that building connections can feel challenging, especially if you're someone who's naturally introverted or if you've experienced loss or change in your social circle. But here's the thing, connection doesn't have to mean having a large group of friends or being the life of the party. It's about finding people who understand you, who share your interests, and who make you feel seen and valued. And the good news? There are so many ways to build those connections, no matter where you are in life. One way to foster connection is by reaching out to old friends or family members. Think about someone you haven't spoken to in a while, a childhood friend, a cousin, or a former coworker. Pick up the phone and give them a call. You might be surprised at how much joy it brings both of you to reconnect. And if you're feeling hesitant, remember that they might be just as eager to hear from you as you are to reach out. Another way to build connections is by joining groups or clubs that align with your interests. Whether it's a book club, a gardening group, or a class at your local community center, these are places where you can meet people who share your passions. And the beautiful part? When you're engaging in an activity you love, it's easier to connect with others because you already have something in common. So, think about your hobbies and interests, and consider how you might connect with others who share them. And let's not forget about the power of volunteering. Volunteering is a wonderful way to build connections while also making a difference in your community. Whether it's mentoring a young person, helping out at a local food bank, or participating in a community cleanup, volunteering allows you to meet people who share your values and commitment to giving back. Plus, it's a way to feel a sense of purpose and fulfillment, which can be incredibly rewarding. Now, let's talk about the importance of being open to new relationships. As we grow older, it's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that our social circle is set, that we've already met all the people we're going to meet. But the truth is, there are always opportunities to form new connections, if we're open to them. So, be open to meeting new people, whether it's a neighbor, someone you meet at a community event, or even a fellow participant in an online class. You never know where a new friendship might blossom. Another way to foster connection is by being a good listener. When you're engaged in a conversation, really listen to the other person. Show genuine interest in what they're saying, ask questions, and offer your own thoughts and experiences. When you listen deeply, you create a sense of trust and connection that can form the foundation of a meaningful relationship. And let's not forget about the importance of reciprocity in relationships. Connection is a two-way street. It's about giving and receiving. So, make an effort to show up for the people in your life. Offer your support, your time, and your kindness. And don't be afraid to ask for help when you need it. When you create a balance of giving and receiving, you build stronger, more resilient relationships. Now, let's talk about the importance of embracing technology as a tool for connection. For many of us, technology can feel intimidating or overwhelming. But when used wisely, it can be a powerful way to stay connected with others. Whether it's through social media, video calls, or online communities, technology allows you to maintain and even build relationships, no matter where you are. So, if you're not already comfortable with technology, consider taking a class or asking a friend or family member to help you get started. When you embrace technology, you open up a world of possibilities for connection. And let's not forget about the importance of self-compassion in building connections. It's easy to feel discouraged if you're not seeing immediate results in your efforts to connect with others. But building relationships takes time, and it's important to be patient and kind to yourself along the way. Remember, every small step you take, whether it's reaching out to an old friend, joining a new group, or simply smiling at a stranger, is a step toward building a richer, more connected life. Now, let's talk about the importance of creating rituals of connection. Rituals are a powerful way to strengthen relationships and create a sense of belonging. Think about the rituals you already have in your life. Maybe it's a weekly phone call with a friend, a monthly dinner with family, or a yearly tradition with loved ones. These rituals create a sense of continuity and connection that can be incredibly comforting. So, consider how you might create new rituals in your life, whether it's a regular coffee date with a neighbor, a virtual book club with friends, or a daily walk with a loved one. And finally, let's talk about the importance of being present in your relationships. In our fast-paced world, it's easy to get caught up in distractions and to miss the moments of connection that are right in front of us. So, when you're with someone, really be with them. Put away your phone, make eye contact, and give them your full attention. When you're present, you create a sense of intimacy and connection that can deepen your relationships. As we wrap up this part of the conversation, I want to leave you with this thought: connection is like a garden. When you nurture it, through reaching out, listening, giving, and being present, it flourishes. And when it flourishes, it enriches every aspect of your life. So, take some time to reflect on your relationships, to celebrate the connections you have, and to embrace the opportunities to build new ones. Because when you live with connection, you create a life that's rich, meaningful, and full of joy. So, as we move forward, let's explore how you can continue to build a life that's aligned with your sense of community and connection, that feels vibrant and fulfilling, and that allows you to embrace each day with curiosity, joy, and a sense of belonging. Because no matter where you are in your journey, there's always room to grow, to discover, and to create a life that's uniquely yours. Let's keep going. Now that we've talked about fostering a sense of community and connection, let's dive into another essential aspect of thriving when you're alone: embracing lifelong learning and personal growth. Life is a journey of constant evolution, and no matter your age, there's always room to learn, grow, and discover new aspects of yourself. Embracing this mindset not only keeps your mind sharp but also infuses your life with a sense of curiosity, purpose, and excitement. So, let's explore how you can cultivate a love for learning and personal growth, and how it can transform your life in profound ways. Let's start by acknowledging that learning doesn't have to mean sitting in a classroom or memorizing facts. It's about staying curious, exploring new ideas, and challenging yourself to step outside your comfort zone. It's about seeing life as an adventure, full of opportunities to grow and evolve. And the beautiful part? Learning can take so many forms, whether it's picking up a new hobby, diving into a subject you've always been curious about, or simply approaching everyday experiences with a sense of wonder. One way to embrace lifelong learning is by exploring your interests. Think about something you've always wanted to try but never had the time for. Maybe it's learning to play an instrument, painting, gardening, or even cooking a new cuisine. The internet is a treasure trove of resources, from online courses to YouTube tutorials, making it easier than ever to dive into a new interest. And the best part? You can go at your own pace, without any pressure or expectations. When you engage in activities that spark your curiosity, you not only learn new skills but also tap into a sense of joy and fulfillment. Another way to foster personal growth is by reading. Books are like windows into new worlds. They allow you to explore different perspectives, gain new insights, and expand your understanding of the world. Whether it's fiction, non-fiction, or even poetry, reading can be a powerful way to stimulate your mind and nourish your soul. Consider setting aside some time each day to read, even if it's just for a few minutes. You might be surprised at how much it enriches your life. Now, let's talk about the importance of staying curious. Curiosity is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. And when you approach life with a sense of curiosity, you open yourself up to new possibilities and experiences. So, ask questions, explore new ideas, and challenge your assumptions. When you encounter something unfamiliar, instead of shying away, lean into it. What can you learn from it? How can it broaden your perspective? When you stay curious, you keep your mind active and engaged, and you create a sense of excitement about the world around you. And let's not forget about the power of setting goals. Goals give you something to strive for, something to look forward to. They don't have to be big or life-changing. They can be as simple as learning a new recipe, mastering a new skill, or even organizing your home. The key is to choose goals that feel meaningful to you, that align with your values and interests. When you have something to work toward, it gives your day structure and direction, and it helps you feel a sense of accomplishment as you make progress. Now, let's talk about the importance of embracing challenges. Growth often comes from stepping outside your comfort zone and taking on new challenges. It's easy to stick with what's familiar, but when you push yourself to try something new, you open yourself up to growth and discovery. So, think about a challenge you've been avoiding. Maybe it's learning to use technology, taking a class, or even traveling to a new place. Whatever it is, give yourself permission to take that first step. When you embrace challenges, you build resilience, confidence, and a sense of adventure. Another way to foster personal growth is by reflecting on your experiences. Life is full of lessons, and when you take the time to reflect on your experiences, you gain valuable insights that can guide you in the future. Consider keeping a journal where you write about your thoughts, feelings, and experiences. What have you learned? How have you grown? What would you like to do differently? When you reflect on your journey, you create a sense of clarity and purpose that can help you move forward with intention. And let's not forget about the importance of staying open to feedback. Feedback is a powerful tool for growth, but it's not always easy to hear. When someone offers you feedback, try to approach it with an open mind. What can you learn from it? How can it help you grow? When you embrace feedback, you create opportunities for improvement and growth, and you deepen your relationships with others. Now, let's talk about the importance of embracing change as a catalyst for growth. Change is a natural part of life, and while it can be unsettling, it's also an opportunity for growth and transformation. When you approach change with an open mind and a sense of curiosity, you open yourself up to new possibilities and experiences. So, when life throws you a curveball, instead of resisting it, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can I grow through this experience? When you embrace change, you create a sense of resilience and adaptability that can carry you through life's ups and downs. And finally, let's talk about the importance of celebrating your progress. Growth is a journey, not a destination, and it's important to celebrate the small steps along the way. Take some time to reflect on how far you've come, the challenges you've overcome, and the progress you've made. Celebrate your achievements, no matter how small, and give yourself credit for the effort you've put in. When you celebrate your progress, you create a sense of momentum and motivation that can carry you forward. As we wrap up this part of the conversation, I want to leave you with this thought: personal growth is like a journey. It's not about reaching a specific destination, but about embracing the process, the lessons, and the experiences along the way. And when you approach life with a sense of curiosity, openness, and a willingness to grow, you create a life that's rich, meaningful, and full of possibility. So, take some time to reflect on your journey, to celebrate your progress, and to embrace the opportunities for growth that lie ahead. Because when you live with a love for learning and personal growth, you create a life that's uniquely yours, one that's filled with curiosity, joy, and a sense of purpose. So, as we move forward, let's explore how you can continue to build a life that's aligned with your sense of curiosity and growth, that feels vibrant and fulfilling, and that allows you to embrace each day with excitement and a sense of possibility. Because no matter where you are in your journey, there's always room to grow, to discover, and to create a life that's uniquely yours. Let's keep going. Now that we've talked about embracing lifelong learning and personal growth, let's dive into another essential aspect of thriving when you're alone: cultivating resilience and emotional strength. Life has its ups and downs, and when you're navigating it on your own, it's easy to feel overwhelmed by challenges or setbacks. But here's the thing: resilience isn't about avoiding difficulties. It's about facing them head-on, learning from them, and emerging stronger on the other side. So, let's explore how you can build resilience and emotional strength, and how these qualities can help you navigate life's challenges with grace and confidence. Let's start by acknowledging that resilience isn't something you're born with. It's something you develop over time. It's like a muscle that grows stronger with use. And the more you practice resilience, the better equipped you'll be to handle whatever life throws your way. So, how can you start building that muscle? One way to cultivate resilience is by reframing your perspective. When you encounter a challenge, try to see it as an opportunity for growth rather than a setback. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can this experience make me stronger? When you shift your perspective in this way, you create a sense of empowerment and possibility, even in the face of difficulty. Another way to build resilience is by focusing on what you can control. When life feels uncertain, it's easy to get caught up in all the things you can't change. But there's so much you can control: your mindset, your actions, and the way you choose to respond to challenges. By focusing on these things, you create a sense of stability and agency, even in the midst of uncertainty. Now, let's talk about the importance of self-compassion in building resilience. Self-compassion is about treating yourself with the same kindness and understanding that you would offer to a dear friend. It's about recognizing that you're human, that you're doing the best you can, and that it's okay to make mistakes. When you practice self-compassion, you create a safe and nurturing space within yourself, a space where you can heal, grow, and thrive. One way to cultivate self-compassion is by changing the way you talk to yourself. Pay attention to your inner dialogue. Are you kind and supportive, or are you critical and harsh? If you notice that you're being hard on yourself, try to shift your tone. Speak to yourself as you would to a loved one. Offer yourself words of encouragement, of comfort, of love. Over time, this practice can help you develop a more compassionate and nurturing relationship with yourself. Another way to practice self-compassion is by acknowledging your feelings. It's easy to push away difficult emotions, to tell yourself to just get over it. But the truth is, your feelings are valid, and they deserve to be acknowledged. When you're feeling sad, angry, or anxious, take a moment to sit with those emotions. Allow yourself to feel them, without judgment. You might say to yourself, "It's okay to feel this way. This is hard, and I'm doing the best I can." When you acknowledge your feelings, you create space for healing and growth. And let's not forget about the power of gratitude in building resilience. Gratitude is like a balm for the soul. It soothes, uplifts, and heals. When you practice gratitude, you shift your focus from what's lacking to what's abundant in your life. And this shift can have a profound impact on your resilience. So, take some time each day to reflect on what you're grateful for. It could be something big, like your health or your family, or something small, like a beautiful sunset or a kind word from a stranger. When you focus on the good, you create a sense of peace and contentment within yourself. Now, let's talk about the importance of building a support network. Resilience isn't about going it alone. It's about knowing when to lean on others for support. Think about the people in your life who make you feel supported and valued. These are the people you can turn to when you're facing a challenge. Whether it's a friend, a family member, or a support group, having a network of people who care about you can make all the difference when times get tough. Another way to build resilience is by practicing mindfulness. Mindfulness is about being fully present in the moment, without judgment. It's about noticing what's happening right now, rather than getting caught up in worries about the future or regrets about the past. When you practice mindfulness, you create space for resilience to flourish. Try starting with a simple mindfulness exercise. Take a few deep breaths, and focus on the sensation of the air entering and leaving your body. If your mind starts to wander, gently bring it back to your breath. Over time, this practice can help you feel more grounded, calm, and open to the good in your life. And let's not forget about the importance of setting boundaries. Boundaries are about knowing your limits and communicating them to others. They're about protecting your time, your energy, and your well-being. When you set boundaries, you create a sense of respect and balance in your relationships. So, take some time to reflect on your boundaries. What's okay with you, and what's not? How can you communicate those boundaries in a clear and respectful way? When you set and maintain boundaries, you create a sense of empowerment and control over your life. Now, let's talk about the importance of embracing change as a catalyst for resilience. Change is a natural part of life, and while it can be unsettling, it's also an opportunity for growth and transformation. When you approach change with an open mind and a sense of curiosity, you open yourself up to new possibilities and experiences. So, when life throws you a curveball, instead of resisting it, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can I grow through this experience? When you embrace change, you create a sense of resilience and adaptability that can carry you through life's ups and downs. And finally, let's talk about the importance of celebrating your progress. Resilience is a journey, not a destination, and it's important to celebrate the small steps along the way. Take some time to reflect on how far you've come, the challenges you've overcome, and the progress you've made. Celebrate your achievements, no matter how small, and give yourself credit for the effort you've put in. When you celebrate your progress, you create a sense of momentum and motivation that can carry you forward. As we wrap up this part of the conversation, I want to leave you with this thought: resilience is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it becomes. And when you cultivate resilience, through self-compassion, gratitude, mindfulness, and a willingness to embrace change, you create a life that's rich, meaningful, and full of possibility. So, take some time to reflect on your journey, to celebrate your progress, and to embrace the opportunities for growth that lie ahead. Because when you live with resilience, you create a life that's uniquely yours, one that's filled with strength, courage, and joy. Now that we've talked about cultivating resilience and emotional strength, let's dive into another essential aspect of thriving when you're alone: finding joy and fulfillment in the present moment. Life is made up of moments, some big, some small, and when you learn to fully embrace and appreciate the present, you create a life that feels rich, meaningful, and deeply satisfying. So, let's explore how you can find joy and fulfillment in the here and now, and how this practice can transform the way you experience life. Let's start by acknowledging that it's easy to get caught up in the past or the future. We often find ourselves reminiscing about the good old days or worrying about what's to come. But here's the thing, the present moment is all we truly have. It's where life happens, where joy is found, and where we can fully engage with the world around us. So, how can you start living more fully in the present? One way to embrace the present moment is by practicing mindfulness. Mindfulness is about being fully aware of what's happening right now, without judgment. It's about tuning into your senses, your thoughts, and your surroundings, and letting go of distractions. When you practice mindfulness, you create a sense of peace and clarity that allows you to fully experience the beauty of the present moment. Try starting with a simple mindfulness exercise. Take a few deep breaths, and focus on the sensation of the air entering and leaving your body. Notice the rise and fall of your chest, the feeling of your feet on the ground, the sounds around you. If your mind starts to wander, gently bring it back to the present moment. Over time, this practice can help you feel more grounded, calm, and connected to the world around you. Another way to embrace the present moment is by savoring the small joys in life. Think about the little things that bring you happiness: a warm cup of tea, the sound of birds singing, the feel of the sun on your skin. These moments might seem insignificant, but when you take the time to savor them, they can bring a deep sense of joy and fulfillment. So, slow down and really notice these moments. Let yourself fully experience them, without rushing on to the next thing. Now, let's talk about the importance of gratitude in finding joy in the present. Gratitude is about focusing on what's good in your life, rather than what's lacking. When you practice gratitude, you shift your perspective and create a sense of contentment and joy. Take some time each day to reflect on what you're grateful for. It could be something big, like your health or your family, or something small, like a kind word from a stranger or a beautiful sunset. When you focus on the good, you create a sense of peace and happiness that can carry you through the day. And let's not forget about the power of connection in finding joy in the present. When you're fully present with others, you create a sense of intimacy and connection that can be incredibly fulfilling. So, when you're with someone, really be with them. Put away your phone, make eye contact, and give them your full attention. When you're present, you create a sense of closeness and understanding that can deepen your relationships and bring you joy. Another way to find joy in the present is by engaging in activities that bring you a sense of flow. Flow is that state of being fully immersed in an activity, where time seems to stand still and you feel completely absorbed in what you're doing. Think about activities that bring you into this state, whether it's painting, gardening, playing music, or even cooking. When you engage in activities that bring you into flow, you create a sense of joy and fulfillment that can carry you through the day. Now, let's talk about the importance of letting go of perfection. It's easy to get caught up in the idea that everything has to be just right, that your home has to be perfectly clean, your meals perfectly prepared, your life perfectly organized. But the truth is, life is messy, and that's okay. When you let go of the need for perfection, you create space for joy and spontaneity. So, give yourself permission to be imperfect, to make mistakes, and to embrace the messiness of life. When you do, you'll find that joy often comes from the unexpected and the imperfect. And let's not forget about the importance of play. Play isn't just for kids. It's a powerful way to bring joy and creativity into your life. Think about activities that make you feel playful and lighthearted, whether it's dancing around your living room, playing a game, or even just being silly with a friend. When you engage in play, you tap into a sense of joy and freedom that can be incredibly uplifting. Another way to find joy in the present is by practicing self-care. Self-care is about prioritizing your own needs and well-being. It's about recognizing that you deserve love, care, and attention, and that it's okay to put yourself first. Make time for activities that nourish your body, mind, and soul, whether it's taking a relaxing bath, spending time in nature, or indulging in a hobby you love. When you take care of yourself, you create a foundation of joy and well-being that allows you to fully embrace the present moment. Now, let's talk about the importance of embracing simplicity. In our fast-paced world, it's easy to get caught up in the hustle and bustle of daily life. But when you simplify your life, you create space for joy and peace. So, take some time to reflect on what's truly important to you. What brings you joy? What can you let go of? When you simplify your life, you create a sense of clarity and focus that allows you to fully embrace the present moment. And finally, let's talk about the importance of being open to joy. Joy is all around us, but sometimes we're too busy or too distracted to notice it. So, make a conscious effort to be open to joy. Look for the beauty in the world around you, the kindness in others, and the small moments of happiness in your day. When you open yourself up to joy, you create a sense of wonder and gratitude that can transform the way you experience life. As we wrap up this part of the conversation, I want to leave you with this thought. Joy is like a flower. When you nurture it, through mindfulness, gratitude, connection, and play, it blooms. And when it blooms, it fills your life with beauty and light. So, take some time to reflect on your journey, to celebrate the moments of joy in your life, and to embrace the opportunities for happiness that lie ahead. Because when you live with joy, you create a life that's rich, meaningful, and full of possibility. So, as we move forward, let's explore how you can continue to build a life that's aligned with your sense of joy and fulfillment, that feels vibrant and fulfilling, and that allows you to embrace each day with curiosity, joy, and a sense of purpose. Because no matter where you are in your journey, there's always room to grow, to discover, and to create a life that's uniquely yours. Let's keep going. Now that we've talked about finding joy and fulfillment in the present moment, let's dive into another essential aspect of thriving when you're alone, creating a life of meaning and legacy. As we grow older, it's natural to reflect on the impact we've had on the world and the mark we want to leave behind. Creating a life of meaning isn't just about what you do. It's about how you live, the values you embody, and the connections you nurture. So, let's explore how you can create a life that feels deeply meaningful and how you can leave a legacy that reflects your unique essence. Let's start by acknowledging that meaning isn't something you find, it's something you create. It's about aligning your life with your values, your passions, and your sense of purpose. And the beautiful part? Meaning can be found in the big moments and the small ones. It's not about grand gestures or monumental achievements. It's about living authentically and making a difference in ways that feel true to you. One way to create a life of meaning is by reflecting on your values. Your values are like a compass. They guide your decisions, your actions, and your relationships. Take some time to think about what matters most to you. Is it kindness, creativity, family, community? Once you've identified your core values, use them as a guide in your daily life. When you live in alignment with your values, you create a sense of purpose and fulfillment that can carry you through life's challenges. Another way to create meaning is by giving back. Giving back isn't just about volunteering or donating money. It's about using your time, your skills, and your presence to make a difference in the lives of others. Think about how you can contribute to your community or to causes that matter to you. Maybe it's mentoring a young person, sharing your knowledge with others, or simply being a supportive presence in someone's life. When you give back, you create a sense of connection and purpose that can be incredibly fulfilling. Now, let's talk about the importance of storytelling. Your life is a story, and it's one that's still being written. Take some time to reflect on your journey, the challenges you've overcome, the lessons you've learned, the moments that have shaped you. Consider sharing your story with others, whether it's through writing, speaking, or simply having conversations with loved ones. Your story is unique and valuable, and it has the power to inspire and uplift others. When you share it, you create a sense of meaning that extends beyond yourself. Another way to create meaning is by nurturing your relationships. Relationships are at the heart of a meaningful life. They're the connections that give us a sense of belonging, of love, and of purpose. So, take some time to reflect on the relationships in your life. How can you deepen them? How can you show up for the people who matter most to you? When you invest in your relationships, you create a sense of connection and meaning that can fill your heart with joy. And let's not forget about the importance of creativity in creating a life of meaning. Creativity is a powerful way to express yourself, to process your emotions, and to connect with your inner self. Whether it's through painting, writing, music, or any other form of creative expression, engaging in creative activities can be incredibly fulfilling. So, think about a creative activity that resonates with you. Maybe it's something you've always loved, or maybe it's something you've always wanted to try. Whatever it is, give yourself permission to explore it. When you engage in creative activities, you tap into a sense of joy and fulfillment that can enrich your life. Now, let's talk about the importance of embracing your role as a mentor or guide. As we grow older, we accumulate wisdom and experience that can be incredibly valuable to others. Think about how you can share that wisdom with the next generation. Maybe it's through mentoring a young person, teaching a class, or simply being a listening ear for someone in need. When you share your wisdom, you create a sense of purpose and connection that can be incredibly fulfilling. Another way to create meaning is by embracing your role as a storyteller. Your life is full of stories. Stories of love, of loss, of triumph, and of resilience. These stories are part of your legacy, and they have the power to inspire and uplift others. So, take some time to reflect on your stories. What lessons have you learned? What moments have shaped you? Consider sharing these stories with others, whether it's through writing, speaking, or simply having conversations with loved ones. When you share your stories, you create a sense of connection and meaning that can extend beyond yourself. And let's not forget about the importance of creating rituals of meaning. Rituals are a powerful way to create a sense of continuity and connection in your life. Think about the rituals you already have. Maybe it's a weekly phone call with a friend, a monthly dinner with family, or a yearly tradition with loved ones. These rituals create a sense of belonging and meaning that can be incredibly comforting. So, consider how you might create new rituals in your life, whether it's a regular coffee date with a neighbor, a virtual book club with friends, or a daily walk with a loved one. Now, let's talk about the importance of embracing your role as a learner. Lifelong learning is a powerful way to create a sense of meaning and purpose in your life. When you stay curious and open to new experiences, you create a sense of growth and discovery that can be incredibly fulfilling. So, think about something you've always wanted to learn, but haven't yet. Maybe it's a new language, a musical instrument, or a skill like painting or woodworking. Whatever it is, give yourself permission to take that first step. When you embrace new experiences, you expand your horizons, build your confidence, and create a sense of adventure in your life. And finally, let's talk about the importance of embracing your role as a legacy builder. Your legacy isn't just about what you leave behind. It's about how you live your life every day. It's about the values you embody, the relationships you nurture, and the impact you have on the world around you. So, take some time to reflect on your legacy. What do you want to be remembered for? How do you want to make a difference in the world? When you live with intention and purpose, you create a legacy that reflects your unique essence and that can inspire others for generations to come. As we wrap up this part of the conversation, I want to leave you with this thought. Meaning is like a thread that weaves through your life, connecting your past, your present, and your future. When you live with intention, with purpose, and with a sense of connection, you create a life that's rich, meaningful, and full of possibility. So, take some time to reflect on your journey, to celebrate the moments of meaning in your life, and to embrace the opportunities for growth and connection that lie ahead. Because when you live with meaning, you create a life that's uniquely yours, one that's filled with purpose, joy, and a sense of fulfillment. As we come to the end of this conversation, I want to take a moment to reflect on everything we've explored together. We've talked about the importance of routine, staying connected, and giving back. We've delved into the power of taking care of your body and mind, finding joy in the little things, and embracing change. We've discussed how to cultivate gratitude, build resilience, and foster a sense of community. And we've explored how lifelong learning, creating meaning, and leaving a legacy can enrich your life in profound ways. But here's the most important thing to remember. This isn't just a list of tips or strategies. It's a roadmap for living a life that feels vibrant, meaningful, and deeply fulfilling, no matter where you are in your journey. It's about embracing the beauty of the present moment, finding strength in your independence, and nurturing the connections that bring you joy. It's about knowing that even when you're alone, you're never truly alone, because you have yourself, your wisdom, and your ability to create a life that's uniquely yours. So, as you move forward, I encourage you to take these ideas and make them your own. Start small. Maybe it's adding a new habit to your routine, reaching out to an old friend, or trying something you've always wanted to do. Or maybe it's simply taking a moment each day to pause, breathe, and appreciate the beauty around you. Whatever it is, know that every step you take, no matter how small, is a step toward creating a life that feels rich, meaningful, and full of possibility. And remember, it's okay to take your time. Life isn't a race, it's a journey. There will be ups and downs, moments of joy and moments of challenge. But when you approach life with curiosity, resilience, and an open heart, you'll find that every moment holds the potential for growth, connection, and joy. Before we wrap up, I want to leave you with this thought. You are enough. Just as you are. You have everything you need within you to create a life that feels vibrant, meaningful, and deeply fulfilling. And no matter where you are in your journey, there's always room to grow, to discover, and to create a life that's uniquely yours. So, here's to you, to your strength, your resilience, and your ability to embrace life with curiosity and joy. Here's to the small steps, the big moments, and everything in between. And here's to living your best life, at any age. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey. If this conversation resonated with you, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. What's one thing you're taking away from this video? What's one small step you're excited to take? Let's keep the conversation going. And if you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Together, we can create a community of support, inspiration, and encouragement. Until next time, take care of yourself, embrace the beauty of the present moment, and remember, you've got this. Here's to living a life that's rich, meaningful, and full of joy.